Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this Odoo Experience 2022 talk. My name is Ophelia, and today we're going to focus on next level document management. This is the talk I've prepared for you today, and we're going to spend around 20-30 minutes together to discuss it. On the agenda, first, of course, I'm going to start with an introduction, explain why this is interesting for you to watch. We're going to follow that with what's new in Odoo 16 documents. Of course, as you may know now, Odoo Experience is our yearly event to present the release of our newest version, in this case, version 16. So we're going to go over those new features. But we're going to focus specifically on HR modules and applications and processes, how you can store and collaborate with all these files that you might use on a daily basis. Of course, you know, we're going to end with a conclusion and a little Q&A session. Well, as an introduction, I want to show you these few words that are going to appear on the screen. For me, those means, you know, that as an HR manager, you have a lot of workload. You have a lot of files and documents to store, to edit, to send information, to filter. And all of these resumes, employees contract, payslips, and of course, a lot more, can be sometimes stressful to find. Stressful to store. If you're sick, and a colleague needs to take care of something, they might not find the information they're looking for on the current system that you're using right now. So that's why the solution to this is Odoo Documents and, of course, the HR apps that we also provide, because Odoo is a fully integrated system. And so all these modules communicate together, and that's what we're going to see today. What's new in Odoo 16 documents? Well, of course, as a new version, it has new and improved features. So we're going to go over these together, and let's get to it. So right now I'm in an Odoo database. Right here I have installed a few modules, but we're going to focus, as I said, on the documents one. So going into this, some of you might know it already, some of you might not. It's quite easy to understand, so you should be fine. The first concept to understand is the workspace. A workspace is a folder, basically, okay? So you can create as many as you want, and you can also create sub-workspaces, okay? So child workspaces from here. It will help me store all my documents. It can be PDFs, it can be Excels, it can be photos, videos, anything that I might want from here and on here, and to manage my entire company. What I want to show you first, before getting into HR-specific processes, is the new features. So let's just imagine that I want to change a little bit the way my workspaces are structured. Before, I had to go into the configurations and go into the settings and change it from there. But right now, super easy. I can just drag one of the workspace and just drop it into another one. So now finance is into the internal one. Quite easy. I can also have that same concept with tags, for example. So tags are little words or sentences that I create based on my own company, my own processes to classify certain documents in this case. So for example, here in this internal workspace, I have different types of tags, and I can, of course, find my documents based on that. But if I want to, for example, this one, the sales one, I don't want it to appear anymore. I don't need it. I can just delete it from here. Or I can even edit something. So I'm just going to say, actually, this one is going to be the sales one. Perfect, right? Super easy, super quick. So that's nice. What else do we have here? Well, we have the possibility as well to use this search bar. This search bar, you will find it on mostly all Odoo modules. It's quite easy to understand. For example, if I type my name, okay, I can figure out all of the documents for which I'm the owner of. I will get back to that concept, but it's just an example. I can also filter on things. So if from all my documents, I want to find only the PDF ones, clicking here will give me those. Or, for example, only the videos, right, and images. In one click, I can find all the information and have a look at them very easily. Of course, what we have as well is this internal chatter. So the chatter, if you know Odoo, you're familiar with this. Well, now every document has a chatter that's related to it. So I can log some notes. I can even send emails to any of the followers of this document, and I can schedule activity. So for example, if I want to make sure that I don't forget to create something with this driver's license, I can do this and just say, oh, I need to email somebody tomorrow and schedule that. Right? And it will be set here on the document, but as well as in my list of activities to do. That's it about the general settings that I wanted to show you from here. What else do we have? Let's focus more on HR modules because that's why we're here. So I've created this HR workspace, and in this HR workspace, I've created child workspaces. So recruitment, contracts, etc., etc. From the recruitment one, if I just take out this filter, I have a few files. Those files, as you can see, are resumes or cover letters because I also created some tags that are attached to it. And I can filter on this just like I told you, right? So if I click on resume and I want to see this in tags, only those 3 will appear because they have it, okay? What I want to show you from here is that it's very easy to make your processes and your recruitment processes a bit lighter, let's say, okay, with less workload. So, of course, you can use email aliases from your recruitment app. And me as a candidate, for example, if I send you an email with my resume, you will have that as an application straight away. That's pretty nice. But there's something else that you can do from the Documents module. Let's imagine I went and I created and I started a recruitment event. So I went there, I talked a lot about our company, our new company, and I got a lot of resumes, okay? So I got them in paper, I went back to my office, I scanned them, and now I have one single file with, let's say, 3 resumes, okay? What I want to do here is to have that information digitalized. I want to have it in the system. So what I'm going to have to do here is just upload that specific document. So I'm going to take it here, which is my resume scan. And as you can see, when I click on it, well, I have a few pages. I have 3 different applicants' CVs, resumes here. What I want to do from here is to split it because those people have nothing in common. They're different applicants. So I can just click here on the scissors icon. And I can split it wherever I want. Right here, the setup is perfect, and you didn't split in 3, so that's what I'm going to do. And now I have 3 different resumes. So of course, I can rename them. So let's just take this one. I can click here, and I can say this is Howard. Perfect. And I could do the same thing for the rest of them. Also, I'm not the owner of this. I'm going to remove that. And I can put a little tag, which is maybe to approve, and also resume. Right? So I can find that information very easily. And so my manager can find also the tag to approve and maybe have a look at that resume for me. Something else that I can do, even by selecting a few of those, so those 3 new ones, is to create an applicant. So we have this feature that's basically the creation of certain actions in Odoo from this Documents module that will give me the possibility to create other things in other modules from here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to click on Create an Applicant. And as you can see, I have 3 new applicants now. So if I click on this now, I see that I have Howard's resume. And what I'm going to do is, well, first of all, I can put in information. So let's say he's interested in the, I don't know, marketing and community manager, okay, job position. And what I can do as well is to send this for digitalization. So what Odoo will do here is that it will scan this with the OCR artificial intelligence. So it will scan this PDF, and the information that it finds, it will put it in the right fields. So as you can see, those fields, email, phone, mobile, well, in this case it's the same, were generated automatically, which is pretty cool because it means that you don't have double entries. You don't have to have a look at it and do it again. Of course, this is a new feature, so with time it will be even better. And then I just go on with my process of first, second interviews, etc., etc. We still have this little chatter that I talked about. And what I want to do from here is send an email to Howard and just say, hi, could you please send me your cover letter, for example. right? And that email will go out to him. And when he replies to that email and sends me his cover letter, it will also appear as a file here. Well, of course, Howard isn't present today. It's my fake candidate, so I'm going to do that for him. I'm just going to attach a file. And I'm going to take this one. So here, as you can see this file, I've attached it onto the actual applicants form of the recruitment app. And we will see together that now it is here. It is present in the documents folder workspace recruitment, because those are configurations that we can make up in Odoo to have all of the documents from other HR apps centralized here. So no more double entries in this case as well. This was about the recruitment one. Let's go and move on to contracts. As an HR manager, you have a lot of contracts. It can be employees contracts or anything else. And, if you have to print it and sign it and then scan it again and then send it again to the employee or the employee to send it to you, that's quite a lot of work. So what we have here in Odoo is we have this sign module that's pretty cool, and the integration with the documents module. So from here, from a selected document, I can just use this action features again and send for signature. So it will kind of bring me to the features of the sign module. And from my document here, from my contract, I can just drag and drop some information. So let's just say I want it here. Sorry. Up. Ooh. I want it here in the middle because that's where I want it, original company. And I want my employee to sign it. Okay, and validate this. And then I can, from here, send it to my employee. In this case, Howard wasn't created yet, so I'm just going to send it to a random person instead. Anita here. Perfect. And send it. So that person will now have to sign this document. And as we can see, we're waiting for a signature. And if I go back to here, to my document, now on this file, so the template one, I see that it's linked to a signature request. And clicking here, I will see that there's 0 signed documents for now, because there's this filter fully signed. If I take it off, I will see that Anita has to sign it for me. Okay, so everything is fully integrated, fully centralized. You will not lose information ever again with Odoo. What else can we do? Let's get to this third part here, payroll. Payroll, of course, as any company, you have to pay your employees, and you have to give them their pay slips. So what I've created here are 6 similar pay slips, but they are assigned to different people. This is the concept that I was telling you about earlier, the concept of owner, right? So as you can see here, we have different little pictures. So this is me, this is Mark, and this is Julie. By clicking on this document, and I can have a look at it, right? I can see that the owner is Mark. Mark, and the owner aspect needs to be a user of my database, okay? An internal user of this database. And what I can do from here is I can send that information. But that information is quite sensitive, so you don't want to send it by email, right, as an attachment. So there's 2 things that we can do here. The first one is to generate a sharing link. So from this, we can click on share. We will have a URL that is generated for us by Odoo, and we can even put a name to this. So let's just say payslip 2022. Okay, and I can also put a validity. So if I want this to be, because it's sensitive information, I want you to have 3 days to download it, but I don't want you to have unlimited validity. I can put that here and just say, okay, you have 2 weeks. That's fine, and share it. Okay, that has been copied for me. So by clicking here, I'm going to pretend I'm Mark right now. I can go onto this link, right? And right away, I will end up on this document. So that's a new feature as well, because you have the possibility to share as many documents at the same time as you want. You would have a platform to download them and also upload them, which is pretty cool if you want to do that. But in this case, when there's one single document, instead of having that view, you have the document right away. And of course, you can download it onto your computer. Okay, so that's pretty cool. There's another thing though here that I like even more than the sharing aspects of payslips. It's the concept of owner. Okay, so by being an owner in Odoo, you will have access to your own documents. So if you don't want to even go to the trouble of sending and sharing a link, me as a user of this Odoo database, I can go onto my own profile and to go onto this little document smart button that we like, and I will see all of the documents that I'm the owner of. Okay, so it means that I will only see mine. If I see my pay slips here, as you can see, I don't see Julie's ones and I don't see Mark's ones. Okay, so of course, as I'm the HR manager, if I go back, I can see everything. But in this case, your employees will only see their own documents and file, and you don't even have to spend time sharing it or sending it by email. So that's cool. That was about the pay slips and the payroll aspects. We can also, of course, for example, have a fleet workspace where you put, I don't know, driver's license, information. You have this little chatter here where you can talk and have your comments and your activities. You can, of course, rename this, okay, Victoria. Oops, sorry. You can assign it to a specific contact. You can change workspace from here. So there's a lot of things to do. And you can also, for example, ask for validation, and it will put the to approve filter here, tag here, sorry. Let's talk about medical, for example. So in this case, let's imagine that my employees can take, of course, sick days. Okay, they're allowed to do that. But when they do that, I need a doctor certificate. Okay, so I need information to make sure that they're actually sick and that they went to the doctor for this. So what I can do is to request a document. So I'm just going to say doctor's certificate. Okay, I'm requesting it to Julie in this case. I don't want to have it within 30 days, but let's say 3, okay, because this is important information and I need to do my job quickly. And I can even put a tag, so short-term or long-term absence, for example, and request this. In this case, Julie will receive 2 things. The first thing that she will receive is an email, okay, that I've assigned that information to her. And the second thing, as you can see here, we have this little green icon that is actually an activity that was scheduled for her in 3 days. And she will find all of that information here in her list of to-do list or list of activities. And if I click on here, if I click on here and I can see the chatter, I will see the activities here, okay? Of course, the idea is that Julie does it in time and she comes up to this document request, just clicks on it, and she can put this one, for example. And the document is now here, and I will still have an overview of everyone and everything that did something on that document. So now I can move on to do my job. I'm sure that she went to the doctor. It's perfect. That's good for me. Something else that I forgot to mention about new functionalities and new features is that now you can also work with shortcuts. So as you can see now, I'm moving my mouse and I'm selecting documents, right? Files and things. But what I can do is also use the shortcuts. So I can use Control and then the little up and down buttons, right? The arrows. So right now I'm moving with my keyboard. And if I want to select multiple things, Control and Enter, and then Control and Enter. Okay. And I can do whatever I want from here, share information, change information, just like I'm changing all of these files, contact, and I'm giving it to Audrey, for example, here. So that's a new feature as well. Quite time saving indeed. Well, that's what I wanted to show you for today. I think that's kind of a small get to know Odoo Documents. Of course, there's much more to see and much more to do, but we only have a little time today, so that's where I'm going to stop. And as a conclusion, of course, better, faster, stronger. Okay. The idea is that Odoo, as you saw it, gives you better efficiency, faster processes, and provides stronger collaboration with your colleagues and with everybody in your company, or even actually external people. No more stress. Of course, when you are working with efficient tools, you will be less stressed and this is the case with Odoo Documents and HR apps, and employee happiness is key. As we know at Odoo, this is a concept that is very liked and put in place. Our CEO, Fabien, has been putting this for years into our company, and we thrive to provide that same feeling and that same concept to you all. So that's it for me today. I don't know if you guys have any questions, but if you do, this is the time to ask away.
Thank you. So I have some questions about documents. The first one was, is it possible to track the document to sign? Can I see the day and time the person signed? And is there an order, or is everyone able to sign the document at the same time?
That's a very good question. Yeah, of course. So if we go back to the sign module here, this is the one that we did before, right? So this is the one that, is it this one? This is a template, sorry. All documents, this one, for example. So this one I've signed it, okay, and as you can see, I signed it today, all right, and Howard still hasn't done it. So of course there's a tracking of who did what at what time, and you can have that information from here as well, and you can have a lot of reports as well, okay, so the ones that are my requests are waiting for me. So of course you will see who did what at what time and how many people have signed it. So if there's 3 people who need to sign it, you will see that in the progress info here.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I see that there is many other questions coming in.
Select the best one, please.
Yeah, I'll try. Can we assign workplaces to certain access right groups? Sorry. Can we assign workplaces to certain access right groups?
Absolutely, yes, and this is crucial, obviously, because you don't want everybody to see everything. So of course you can manage the access rights in Odoo and select. I'm not going to show everything, otherwise we won't have time. But yes, you can set up a certain access right group on different workspaces.
Okay, great. Another question coming in: is it possible to have a validation workflow with the document?
Yes. Yes. So it's not as it won't be a fixed one, I think, in this case. But what you can do is work with the tags, right? So on here, as I've done it, I did the status inbox to validate, etc., etc. So as soon as you receive a document, for example, you can create some. Let's have a look here, for example. You can create some actions. Okay. So by default, you can say that this needs to be asked for validation, and what it will do is it will be adding the tag to approve, and we can also also have a certain person linked to that. So every time we add this tag or this action, we can say, oh, it sends an activity to a certain person to approve it. So that's, yeah, it can help with validation.
Okay. We have questions about outside users. Is it possible to request a document to employee that is not an Odoo user, like a doctor's certificate to a cleaning lady, or like a doctor's certificate, for example? Like a user should be requested to a non-user, sorry, should be requested.
I
to
get the
send
question.
documents.
I don't think so. Honestly, I would need to check, but I don't think so, because as you can see from here, when I click on request, right, the only possibilities that I have in this to request to field are users. So I think this is an internal feature, and people need to be users to do it.
Okay.
But again, no, nothing. Never mind.
Okay. Something easier, I'd say, and internal to Odoo. Is it possible to have a validation workflow with documents?
That's what we just said.
Sorry, my bad. That was a very good question indeed. That question, maybe you can help us with that. Can you please show us for example, the accountants can ask the manager to approve a payslip?
Yes, well, this is the things that I did already, right? So you can kind of automate those flows, and saying that there's different. So the actions are the actions that you see here depend on each. Sorry, why is it not shown here? Okay, the actions that you will see here, depend on each workspace. Okay, so you can create your own actions per workspace. So if you have a workspace that's called accounting or internal or pay slips, you can link certain actions to make that validation to the accountant, for example, and you will. This is internal processes as well, right? You need to kind of adapt to it. And so if it is the case, you won't be able, or you'll tell yourself that you won't be able to send that information, those pay slips, to the employees until it's been approved.
Okay. I think we'll go for one more question.
Yeah, just one more.
One more. Is it possible to do a full text search on all archived documents?
I'm not sure I get the question. Well, first of all, we can find the archive documents just clicking here. And what would be the information? So a full text would be, within all these documents, I want to find the information, or I want to find an archive document that has a specific information or text. I'm not sure that's the question. If that person wants to come like to me afterwards so we can discuss it, that would be better.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.